we are in the throes right now of petitions being signed to fire Chris Harrison.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's break it down.
Yeah,
Yes.
So what happened?
So there's a girl on the show, Rachel.
Kirkconnell.
Rachel
Yes.
Kirkconnell.
She grew up in the South. Do you remember what state?
Yeah, Georgia.
Georgia. And there are pictures and videos of her and her sorority throwing what they call antebellum parties in the South, where they dress up in traditional
Plantation
dresses and take
Have you ever heard of this,
photos
John?
And have
I only
parties.
learned about it this week. This is a thing they do, like in the South, is basically like role play, like it's like the Civil War didn't
on
happen.
a plantation.
Like
Yes.
they're all wearing
Yep.
Southern plantation dresses.
Pre-Civil War.
Pretty
Yes.
problematic.
So awful.
yeah.
And it takes place on an old plantation in the
Yes.
South.
Yes.
So they got released?
So there's evidence of her doing this.
Well, it's been out since the show aired. So since this new season started, we've known about
somebody
this.
goes off about this. As soon as they get the list of names, somebody goes in and
Yep.
Yep.
Bum,
bum,
Of
bum.
course.
Yep.
Of course.
And so Chris Harrison on a podcast with the first African American woman to be the Bachelorette.
Yeah, it was live on Extra.
Yes, they.
It was an interview or was it a podcast?
Right? A podcast?
Interview.
An
Oh,
interview.
interview.
Extra
With Rachel
interview.
Lindsay, who was the first African American Bachelorette.
Yes, and so
Yikes.
she took him to task on it and was like, "Hey, are you going to address this? On the show? How are you going to talk about this?" And basically, Chris just downplayed the entire thing.
Just blew it off.
Was kind of like, "Yeah, well, the problems, of whenever this was."
I mean, you
2015.
can go. It was a 15-minute interview. You can go line by line through what he said and been like, let's break down how that's so problematic.
Right,
It
yeah.
is wild. The biggest thing that he said that was like, wow, is that she said, this is a bad look. Like, this was only in 2018 that she went to this party.
Yes,
And
yes.
and Chris Harrison says, we're in 2021 now. Is what's wrong in 2021 the same as what was right in 2018? Basically saying that
Racism only became a problem recently.
yeah, the problems that we have now are not the same as the problems that were in 2018.
Why would he even address that? It's so weird.
I
Wild.
have a theory.
Okay, conspiracy theory.
Another red pill moment for Ryan on the
Okay,
show.
go ahead.
I think the girl wins.
Yeah.
That's my hot take. Is I think that he was
Defending
because
her.
the girl. So it's not like they took her off the show. They finished filming.
Yeah.
And now it's like they've started airing the show, and it's not like they can now go, oh, just kidding, she didn't win.
Right.
I think she wins The Bachelor. I think
feels
he.
that
Isn't that interesting that she wins getting to be married to another person? Anyways, go ahead.
To
Yeah, is
and
wins is the
word.
terminology
Right.
you
Oh, of
use.
course.
You're right.
and
but-
she wins getting married to a black person.
whoa.
Yeah.
And so he feels the
I
need
submit that he was
to-
defending his show. He was defending her to lighten the mood, be like, hey, it's not that big a deal. Like, let's just forget about that because he's like, or she's like his, winner. That's a
Well,
bad
if
look.
she doesn't win, it's even worse.
Oh yeah. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
But
And she also took a long time to respond herself, which is kind of a little cue that, hey, she probably did win to
Right.
wait this long to say anything when it's been almost 6 weeks since
Yeah.
The Bachelor
Yes.
started.
Right.
that's the
And-
other thing too, is that she made a big announcement about, or not an announcement, but like an apology on her
Yep.
Instagram or
Yeah.
what? Where
Yeah,
was
she
that?
put on her apology was solid. Like,
Uh-huh.
solid apology.
True.
And like people have come forward and like
Mm-hmm.
said thank you. I think the issue is that Chris Harrison just doubled down on
Yep.
her.
Yeah.
And so now
Yeah.
people are like, people who
love him.
love the show, that right? People who love the show that have been watching it forever are like, fire Chris Harrison.
Yeah.
Like,
Right,
we're
which-
done with you.
And it's kind of interesting because I feel like The Bachelor has always been like a very white TV show. Like we have white contestants and this is our white male and our white female and it's like that only in the past couple years they've had more contestants of representation
Yeah.
where it's just like it's interesting because I feel like Chris Harrison is the Bachelor and the Bachelorette. Like he's always been, kind of
Hands
the
on the
embodiment
show.
of the show.
Sure.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
it's just a reflection of what's been going on this entire time.
Yeah.
It's just a very tangible statement that he made.
Yeah.
And
Well,
now
they-
people are like, well, yeah, we can,
That's a good point. I mean, The Bachelorette and The Bachelor, the show itself for the past 20 years, because of Chris Harrison's directing and involvement, is a direct representation of the thought processes and character of Chris Harrison himself.
Yes.
That's
Because
what I
he's the
think.
one behind
Yes.
the wheel.
Yes.